Hello everyone, Green Gemini here, and welcome back to the next episode of Oxygen Not Included. We saw on the last episode where we were going to start digging this area out, taking care of our leaky oil fissure that we've got here. We built our oxygen mask docks and everything, which are working very well. Unpausing this, and so we're at 105 cycles to go. I actually went ahead and saved a picture somewhere of what we're going to be doing in this area. Now, unfortunately, we're missing some pretty vital things, reed fiber being one of them. And as I was going through in the in-between, so there is an in-between episode, there is a 6.5 episode over on Patreon. So if you want, join Patreon, go ahead and donate today, and you will get access to exclusive videos and everything. I appreciate all of the support that you are able to give for the channel. But like I said, today we're going to be looking at doing this leaky oil fissure, and the picture that I have, which did not show up here, which is fine, kind of walks us through like how we're going to go ahead and get this built. Unfortunately, there's a couple things that need to happen in order for us to be able to build a couple things here. Looking at power, so with our steam turbine we have to have plastic. In order for us to get plastic, we have to have oil. In order to do oil, we have to do oil refining, and then oil refining will give us plastic, because it'll convert to petroleum. But the problem again with that, though, is that we have steam that comes out of that for the polymer press, and then we also need to have reed fiber eventually. Wait, no, hold on. We also need to have, we have natural gas that comes out of the refinement. The oil refinery converts crude oil into petroleum, but also natural gas. So typically what I do is I go through and I vacuum all of that in, but I also need reed fiber because I need Atmos suits for the duplicants to have so they don't get scalded. So we're in a bit of a pickle. We are in a little bit of a pickle because I don't have access to reed fiber. That's the downfall. So we may end up with some dupes that are a little scorched. Still haven't had a chance to explore the whole area yet. But we will do the best that we can to get this built up to a point where we can use it. The other thing that I'm having to do right now, I'm having to do a little bit of research based off of a couple things that we need. Automation being one of them, insulated tiles being another, because we need insulated tiles to put around this thing. Otherwise, the heat is just going to escape out everywhere. We don't want that to happen. With what I have been able to figure out on putting together, I don't want to use sedimentary rock for moving around because it's thermally reactive. But if I use just plain, not sandstone, let's use shale. And if I'm going based off of the picture that I have here, we have this ladder that comes down. I'm going to need to build this way. And then we're going to have, I need to have insulated tile come down here, so I need to wait for that to be done first. We're going to have insulated tile that comes up over here this way as well. I guess what we can do while we're waiting for that to happen, we'll go ahead and get a pump put into here. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take some pipe. This is slow heating, so we need insulated pipe that's going to come down. It looks like I've got it coming down to about there-ish on the picture. Because essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have the oil come down this way. So this will be insulated tile that comes down here. We're going to take temp shift plates and we're going to make them out of sedimentary rock, which is thermally reactive. Thermally reactive means that it takes little energy to raise and lower, it heats and cools quickly. So by utilizing these plates here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's say. And then by putting in some metal tiles with our nickel that we're going to use, because the nickel is high thermal conductivity, which means that the heat will get drawn from here up into these, which will then heat the water that's going to set in here, or in this case, it's going to be the salt water that comes in here, drops down, evaporates into steam. The steam will then come out of the steam turbine, giving us power, and then obviously it's going to be hot water, so we're going to have to cool that somehow, some way, and that's kind of where either this cooling area will come into effect, or we'll find another cooling area. We'll do something in order to try and cool it. And that's going to give us some free energy, number one. Number two, it's going to cool the oil down to the point to where we can use just a regular liquid pump, because this is going to be coming out at 620 degrees, which is pretty warm. It's pretty warm. I'm hoping that these guys can kind of hurry up a little bit. We can get our other stuff taken care of. Let's go ahead and mop that up. Got a lot of building projects happening at the moment here. So why don't we go ahead and... Okay, so we're waiting on some electricity here to get some research done. So just regular research. And unfortunately, we are down to 94 cycles. Well, really 93 cycles. I don't know that we're going to make it. I really don't know that we're going to make it. I'm trying to make sure that we avoid building anything in the strike zone area, because this is going to hurt. It's really, really going to hurt. I just want to make sure that there's nothing of substantial use that's going to be in here. There isn't, other than all of that. Now, I could, and I may, depending on how close we get to this, I may dig some of this out in order for us to use it, because I don't want to lose it. That's a lot of resources that we're going to lose. So why don't I go ahead and hit fast forward on this here, and then, oh, look. So we have oxygen masks that are now available. So we can come up here to our crafting station and put that on forever for our worn oxygen mask. Put that on priority 7. We have heat doing just fine throughout here. All of this is nice and cool. Unfortunately, this is getting ready to spill over a little bit, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And we'll let them continue to build this, and we'll be back. All right, so we've got that built up, which took a little bit longer than what I expected, but that's all right. If you want to see the build happening, if you want to look at that in-between stuff, then you can go ahead and, again, go over to the Patreon channel, or Patreon link that is in the description below, and you will be able to do so. Let's see, granite, I think, is what I want. Yes, granite is what I want. So you'll be able to see the unedited videos for $5 a month. You will be able to see the in-between episodes for $10 a month. And then for $20 a month, I can't remember exactly what is on there, but I know there's some pretty good goodies when it comes to that. I believe the save files you can get on there as well. Those will be uploaded as soon as we have some interest. So if you are interested, go ahead and go over to the Patreon, which is linked in the description below. Again, I appreciate all of the support that you guys can give for the channel. So there's a couple things that I want to do with this now. We have, if I go under automation, I don't have everything that I want. So currently doing, okay, thermosensor, gas pressure, I think I already have. Yeah, the Atmos sensor I already have. I I need to get my and or gates and stuff like that done, because we're going to have a couple different criteria. So when it comes to dealing with something like this, and you have liquids and gases, so you're pumping in liquids and you're going to have it converted to a gas, then you kind of want to have a couple fail safes in place, right? So what I'm talking about is we're going to have an atmos sensor and a hydro sensor in here. So we're going to tell this if so let's go here and here. So we're going to say if, right, these are the criteria that's going to be in here. We're going to say if the atmos sensor, let's put my atmos sensor here. No. Let's cancel that. The atmos sensor is going to go, let's say here. And I think this is going to end up being an and. So if the atmos sensor and the hydro sensor are both below a certain point, then that will activate the liquid vent. If either one of these is above what we set that at, it will turn a red signal and it will turn this off. Because what we don't want to have is, one, we don't want to have the chamber in here overpressurized, right? To where the steam turbine won't work, nothing will work at all. But then the other thing that we don't want is if the heat has been taken out so much, we don't want the liquid to continue to build up and this whole thing have cooled off and it continue to pump liquid in here and then we're not able to get it going again. So we've got to have both conditions. The other thing that I want to do too is if the atmosphere that's in here is below, I'm sorry, yes, if it's below a certain amount, I do not want the steam turbine to run. Because when you have enough steam in here, it'll run the steam turbine, no issues. If you don't have enough steam in your box, the steam turbine is not going to run, unfortunately. So we'll wait on that automation research to get done, which they're working through that pretty quickly. They're also getting this done pretty quickly as well. The wire that I want to use, let's use the purple one. So we're going to have one wire come out of here, one wire come out of here. Both of these are going to hook up to an AND signal, which we haven't done that yet. So working on it. So we'll hook those up to an AND signal. I can't remember where the output is for the AND signal. It's either here or here. And depending on what that is, will determine on how we hook it up. Let's see, we have a space heater, ice liquefier, ice fan, ice maker. So we have our insulated tiles now as well. So the premise of this is to have the leaky oil fissure run down this way, the oil coming this way, hitting these temp shift plates, going up to the metal tiles here, the heat transferring up, hitting the water superheating to boiling and evaporating, right? We'll have salt end up in here. Eventually, at one point, we're going to need to get a sweeper in here, so we're going to need to build this big enough to be able to get that sweeper in. We're doing some advanced stuff right now with basic products, so we may have some issues in a little bit. It's fine. It'll be fine. Apparently, I did not make my underbridge far enough down. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. That's going to need to come down one. Okay. The bridge needs to be... This undercarriage needs to go down here. Thank you very much. Okay. Alright, there's my and. Okay, here's my AND gate. So with my AND gate, like I said, we're going to rotate this around, and it's at the top here. So you can see where my two inputs are on this, and I'm going to put those on top of the wires that I just did. So this one is inputting, this one is inputting. So when both of those have met the criteria, and we are good to go, then it will send a new signal, a green signal, from here to here. So I'm very happy with that. Now, we're going to get rid of those two things. Okay. We'll get this built up. And of course, we're going to have sedimentary rock down here, which is not going to be fun. Wondering if I'm going to be able to get to all of that. Who knows? Let's build a storage bin here. Because I want to make sure that we have everything dug out of here as much as possible. Speaking of... So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So I'm going to dig up to here so that that water drains out and it doesn't mess up what I'm trying to accomplish over here. So then the other thing that I want to do is we're going to have this build up around this, and then eventually that will go to there. I actually want to grab this and go up with it so that I can access this area here to be able to do that and get that built. We're going to actually include that so we can dig over to here, have that be one large area to go around. And then we're going to make the box this tall. So the other thing that I want to do is I got to make sure that I can get into here for now. We're going to have to create some sort of airlock to go in here as well, because we're going to have to get all of the air sucked out of here. Again, this is where those Atmos suits would come in real handy, and we don't have access to those. I am going to bring another dupe on, I think. I feel like... I need one, but I feel like I need a digger, and none of these guys are diggers. Or builders, one of the two. Unfortunately, Abe here is taking care of all of this by himself. Which is part of the reason why things are taking so long. But all the other dupes have their jobs that they need to do. Now, if we prioritize this at a, say, 7... that will become a little bit more relevant for them to do. And then eventually we'll get one of these, and this will go in here. I'm not too terribly concerned about the gases that are going to be in this one. I really just need this to cool. Having the carbon dioxide in here may not hurt. Oh, what was I researching before? Let's get that done. See, now that he's prioritized some of this stuff. Okay, so here we go with the signals. So as long as this is below, I'm actually going to say 100 kilograms. And as long as this is below, say, 2,500 grams, then that will give us a green signal coming out of each of these. Now, say I have this at, it needs to be, if it's below 250. So it's not below 250, so it's setting out a red signal, saying that it's not able to put any water in here because we're saying no. It's below the threshold of where we want it to be. Now, if we say it needs to be above 250, if it's above 250, send a green signal. So This is your if right here. Send green signal if, and then I'm going to say below 250, sorry, 2,500 grams. Okay, so conditions are met on both. So then it will go ahead and release liquid into here. So that's kind of our failsafe. If the pressure goes above 2,500, this will shut off. If the liquid ends up going above 100 kilograms, this will shut off. Actually, I think we're going to end up doing 50. It takes a lot to be able to heat stuff up in here. I could probably potentially put some temp shift plates in here as well. So maybe I go... like that to kind of disperse the heat out a little bit. I think we'll just kind of leave it at that for now. So this we're not able to get to because we've got to build this platform back up again. We've got to be able to get that done. Eventually, this will get... closed off. So we're going to put that at sweep only and all, and then we're going to do it as a priority 8. So any type of sweep errand that I give, it will go ahead and get what it needs. I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct that and this because it's unreachable. They're not able to get to these, but I should be able to deconstruct those, get to that stuff. I was thinking my husband was home, but he's not. So there's an Amazon package at the door. But I wonder what that could be, though, because my order isn't going to be here until Wednesday. So it's probably something that he ordered, more than likely. All right, we'll get that swept. Well, ooh, that was fast. So easy way to do that is to uncheck everything and check it back. It will take what was in there, drop it down to the bottom, onto the floor, and then you're good to go. Abe is getting that built. So let's do this. Let's let them get this taken care of. And then we will be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is taking a bit longer than what I anticipated, to be honest with you. Now, I think what we will be able to do is we can at least probably, maybe, hopefully, start when it comes to some of these processes. So if I come in here to refined metal, I have decided we're going to go ahead and put, not refined metal, refinement. We're going to go ahead and put our oil refineries down here at the bottom. So we need to get that demolished, and then we're going to go ahead and get those demolished. We're going to take the petroleum that we're going to make from here. So I need crude oil there, and that was the third one out. 1, 2, 3, up. No. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe it's 4? Yeah, it's 4, okay. Counting incorrectly, so that needs to go there. So the crude oil will go into these two things here. These two refineries. From the refineries, it will come out, and it will go into these liquid reservoirs, which is actually going to line up very, very nicely. So we'll have, let's say 2, yeah, we're going to have 2 liquid reservoirs here. And then we're going to have a ladder that's going to go up this way. I'm probably going to end up moving this ladder over. Come on, you guys. Abe is always getting trapped. I don't know why. He's always getting trapped. He's almost lost his life twice now. Maybe 3 times since we've been recording this. And I have no algae. What's the other thing? Let's make sure we have algae for oxygen. Just noticed that because we're running out of oxygen. That's fine. Okay, so he's able to build that and get out of there. Okay. I think what I want to do is I actually want to have this ladder go this way. And the reason for that is because we'll get these two... Seriously? Plumbing. Do that. I get this, put in there. It's going to go there. So the reason for that is because we're going to have these. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll kind of do... I'm kind of wanting to do the same thing. Like, if I fill this up first... Like, if I go this way, it'll fill this tank, then this tank, then this tank. And then if it empties... If I just go under like that... But it could also go into here, out and in, and then out and up. Which I think is going to be the better way to do it. So we'll get that swept up and into here. I had to put a bottle emptier for brine and salt water over here, because we had some salt water sitting down here that needed to be taken care of. This is going to come up this way and go through this cold biome area here, and we'll end up doing some radiated heat pipes, some radiated pipes up through here. This is almost empty now, finally. Thank you very much. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to utilize this whole system right away, so I'm hoping that we can kind of contain some of the heat. And so it doesn't damage some of this too much. Fingers crossed. We're just going to have to wait and see how this works. Exactly. We need to be able to get rid of that stuff. Is that unreachable? No. But you know what I didn't do? Didn't leave space for me to dig this out. That's fantastic. That's okay. We can dig it out from here. Let me do that. And then that. And then we can do a dig out here and be able to come this way with it. We're also going to need to dig that out. We're getting there. We are getting real close. Now, power-wise, this is 480, this is 480, and that's 240, so it's 960 plus 240, which gets us over that threshold that we need. However, we can still utilize the same transformer. We may not be using everything all at once. And if we're not going to be using everything all at once, then it's okay to hook all of this up together. Now, unfortunately, I did that incorrectly. Because I have to have the large transformer wire come out here. So I want to take this wire and go that way with it. We're going to do a wire bridge and go that. And then we're going to take our large wire and go that way. Now, for the time being, we're going to go ahead and hook up let's do 2 jumbo batteries. And then we'll do the manual stuff. Now, eventually, all of this will end up being automated. We're just having to kind of do what we need to for right now. Now, the other thing that I could do too, in the meantime, since we don't have the ability to delete the steam, we could always pump the steam out and then dump it somewhere to cool it off. But also we're going to get into the issue of the steam being too hot. And if I look at our gas pump, the overheat temperature is 167. That's not going to help us. So we're just going to have to let the heat happen for now until we can go ahead and get a lot of the other stuff that we need to get. I know, it's a bad build at this point because I don't have certain things. But we've got to be able to find those certain things in order to do things. Let's go ahead and do a care package of, hang on, strength and construction. Ooh. Oh, I need Frankie. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm grabbing Frankie. That may have been a mistake. I don't know yet. Let's look at our jobs real quick. Frankie, who just came on, we're going to do improved construction, and then we're going to look at priorities. And Frankie, cooking, tidying, building needs to be top of mind. Okay. And we've got all this that needs to be done. So hopefully we have... Okay, so Harold is up here getting food for us. We've got... Just work on some tidying aspects real quick here. No. We don't want to do that. We want to keep all of that gas up here. Please and thank you. Definitely not going to make our cycle 200. We're just not going to make it. But you know what? We're learning, right? We are learning about the things that we need to do. If we can get... Well, you know what? We're just going to have to let them build this. And, you know, we're probably going to have to continue this in the next episode. Because we've spent a lot of time on this today. We really have. Not sure what the edit's going to look like or anything like that. But questions, comments, concerns, put it in the comment section down below. I will go ahead and let these guys continue to build. And then we will look at this and getting our petroleum and our polymer press set up in the next episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know it's not 100% complete yet, but we're going to get there. Like I said, questions, comments, concerns, put it in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. And hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload videos. And again, don't forget to visit the Patreon channel. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.